Why don't we start with the NBA Finals? Normally, when you're talking about a Finals MVP in a 2-2 series, that'd be a big waste of time, right? Why would you do that? That'd be a pretty dumb thing to do. Why would anybody discuss who the MVP might be after 4 games in a tied-up series? Normally, you have no idea how that series is going to turn out. You got to wait and see what happens in the next 2 or 3 games, right? Before determining who that MVP might be. Thing about that is, what we're seeing this time is not normal. Steph Curry is not normal. And I'm pretty much okay. In fact, I'm better than okay. I'm totally fine with giving Steph the Finals MVP right now. Win or lose, this guy is the Finals MVP. Barring somebody else going for 50 twice in the next 3 games, that MVP is his. And if anybody's going to go for 50 twice in the next 3 games, it's probably Steph. But talking about Curry as the Finals MVP at this point isn't about the fact that he's never won one before. That's not what I'm talking about. This is not about righting a historical wrong. Curry winning Finals MVP this year isn't Martin Scorsese winning for The Departed. It's acknowledging that Curry is the best player on the floor right now on either team by a mile. It's not even close. Like Jason Tatum has looked great at times. Jaylen Brown has been a force at times. But even at their very best, Steph Curry is still better. This is not a series without Curry. Warriors v. Celtics has become Curry v. Celtics. Right now, Curry is playing Boston's entire team to a draw. Boston sweeps this series without Curry. It's that simple. Without Curry, they'd already spent the entire weekend driving down Boylston Street with the Larry O, then taking those duck boats right into the Charles River, and they would still be tooling around Boston Harbor this morning. Instead, they get beaten by Curry in their own house, and they've got to fly back to Frisco for Game 5 tonight. I want to be really clear about what happened on Friday night and why anybody is talking about the Finals MVP even right now. It's because Steph Curry put on a display for the ages. 43 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and he did it with a bad foot against the best defense in the league in a really hostile barn. Like, not only has this guy been incredible, I'm not sure I've ever seen him be any better than he is right now. And again, he's doing it on a jacked up wheel at age 34 in what amounted to an elimination game against the best defense in the NBA, and again, in a really hostile barn. And not only did he keep that series alive, he single-handedly ripped the home court back, and he swung this series back in favor of Golden State. Thing is, to me, it wasn't even just about the production. I mean, it was that, but it was also the attitude, the heart, the fire, the grit, the fact that he effectively said to his team in all of Dub Nation, get the hell on my back. Get the hell on my back. I got this. Like, that wasn't just Curry versus the Celtics Friday night. That was Curry versus all of Boston, the entire town, the entire city. He had to fight the entire city, and he did, and he beat them, and he let them know about it. I mean, you got to admit, the crowd, my fellow Chowds, well, I'm half Chowd, they were so proud for how they got on Draymond in Game 3 and how they had more for Draymond in Game 4. And then they had some for Clay for his comments about them. Except, as much as they wanted to, they had nothing for Curry. I mean, they did try. I guess half of me, did try. But 43 and 10 in your own house is going to shut you up pretty quickly. Think about this quickly. Think about the single most dominant performance in a finals game that you've ever seen. Think about that. Tell me what you come up with, and then put Curry's game right next to it, because that's a fact. It's right up there. That game Friday night from Curry is right up there with the very best ever. It was every bit as dominant as anything Jordan has ever done. And I know for a lot of you Jordan honks, that's blasphemy, but it's true. Curry's Friday night line is right next to LeBron's 51-8-8 performance against Golden State a few years back. This is how dominant this guy is, how dominant we're talking. And again, it was not just the shot making, although there was a hell of a lot of that. It's about this guy's, and this has never been said about Steph Curry, but it's about his physical toughness as well. I mean, for all the incredible aspects of Curry's game, the shooting, the ball handling, the passing, the thing that's not appreciated enough, especially now, is how tough this cat really is. I mean, this dude is tough, physically strong, mentally strong. And you'd have to be to put up 43 against this Celtics team. You got to be tough as hell to make 14 of 26 and 7 of 14 from deep against these guys. Because you know they're out there to do one thing, shut you down. They're not really worried about anybody else. And it's the way they go about it. The Celtics are big, they're physical, they're nasty, they bludgeon you to death. They beat you down. The grabbing, the holding, the hand checking, the body checking, everything. 48 minutes of hell against this crew is like 96 against anybody else. And despite all that, Curry's averaging 34 points. He's 50% from the field and 49% from three against his defense. And again, when his best was needed in the second half on Friday night, he brought it. Draymond said it, quote, he wasn't letting us lose. That's a fact. Boston has been focused on making sure that nobody other than Curry could beat them, and then Curry goes ahead and beats them anyway. He's so right about all the above. I mean, all of that's true. The heart on that man is incredible, and the rest of the Warriors do have to help him out tonight. Like, I know he could carry them to 2 more wins. Believe me, I've seen enough to know that. But it would be a hell of a lot easier on him not to have to put the entire team on his back and then carry them up and down the floor for 48 minutes. 2 more times. He could, but hopefully for their sake he doesn't have to. But let's be clear about this. As great as Curry was on Friday, he did not end that series. He swung it back in their favor, but he didn't end it because the Celtics are tough to end. They have been tremendous, in fact, not only in the playoffs, but since January, when they lose a game. They always bounce back. They never lose consecutive games. And they can win on the road. They've already done that once. So you know they're going to come into tonight knowing that they can do it again. Hell of a series. Crazy series. Great series. Boston is resilient as hell, but if Steph shows up again and shows out again tonight, the Celtics are going to have to go on the road and win a Game 7, and I don't see that happening, as tough as they are. So they went from being in control and being heavy favorites to having Curry stab them in the heart in their own house to now being in a must-win situation in a 2-2 series. I mean, right, it's 2-2. If you're Boston, you're telling yourself, we've won there before. It's 2-2. Seems to me, though, 2-2 has never felt shakier if you're Boston. And the best part of Curry going off is it puts that moronic Draymond caring more about his podcast than the series narrative on hold for a day or two. So, the proverbial, who you got? I even got the big head in the house. Who you got, head? How you going to play that one? He says he's still on the fence. By the way, the head, the big head. Part of me thinks the big head is not here because Rit may or may not still be alive, and Alvin's not here. Part of me thinks the big head is actually here so he could flex on his perfect weekend. And he had a perfect weekend. If you listen to Big Head Bets on Friday, you know that the head had a perfect weekend. If you got down with the big head on Friday, you had a good weekend. Some of you clones are wild. Some of you clones parlay everything. Respect, yo. If the big head had a perfect weekend and you parlayed all of his stuff, then you had a better than perfect weekend. I don't even do that stuff. I mean, I in part, I either agree with the big head or I don't, and I make my own decisions. But I'll tell you what I don't do. I don't play those parlays. Not like that. Some of you clones, though, are fearless. Speaking of gambling, yo, is any of our Bitcoin left? Oh, my God. Talk about a bloodbath. Anybody holding on to crypto? What do we do? Hey, clones, I'll even open it up to you. What do we do with our crypto? Are we going to just ditch it, bail, and take what's left of what we have? Or are we going to dig in, hold on, and maybe buy the dip? I don't know, man. There is a lot of blood spilling right now.